We are back, dude. And it's crazy, right? Because I've been wanting to play through some single player stuff, but I really just haven't been. There's been a couple of things I've played through. However, just haven't really been playing all games all that much. I was on a huge Overwatch kick. I was on a huge Deadlock kick, and I was also on a huge Predecessor kick. Outside of that, just not really invested into gaming all that much. I just haven't really been in it all that much. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of falling out of it a little bit, trying to get back into it. But just haven't been loving it too much lately. But now we're gonna do a little talk about a game that I really wish I liked a lot more. I wish I could get into this game a little more. And that's Mario and Luigi Brothership, man. It's just I wanted to like this game a lot more. It starts off insanely slow. We'll get all into it, but yeah, guys, what's up? I was not expecting to do Jerry Yap today, or anytime soon for that matter. But there's just a lot of stuff, single player stuff that I do want to play through. But here's the dilemma, right? It's like I already started the podcast, and I'm like, I don't want to play single player games if I don't want to talk about them, because I do want to come back and listen to these eventually, like when I'm way older. I know I've already said that on the podcast a bunch of times, or not even a podcast, because aren't podcasts like an hour long, right? And this one, it's just not gonna be. But let's call them reviews, right? Game reviews. I want to be able to play single player stuff, and I want to be able to review it, just to, have a memory of talk about and remember later down the line. But yeah, the whole original point of this YouTube channel, of this podcast, is to just make videos and talk about games that I've played, single player games, even multiplayer games that I've played, just to have memories of down the road, just so I can get my thoughts out. I don't really care if anybody listens. That wasn't really the point. I just want to have a personal record of me playing it on the internet somewhere, so that I can go back and listen to it later in life, So that's pretty much what we're doing here. Mario and Luigi Brothership is going to be our comeback episode. It is episode 43, which is still crazy that there's 42 before this, and I know a lot of them are terrible. But yeah, still. But yeah, I have this weird conundrum where I'm just like, I don't want to play single player games if I don't want to talk about it, because I do want to talk about it, but I also don't want to just play it and forget about it forever. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing today, man. That's what we're doing. I've played a couple single player games in the past couple of months, or however long I've been away. What is it, like a year, half a year, something like that? I played a Fallout 3 playthrough, which I will get to. We'll make a video on that. Fallout 3, pretty good. A little bit buggier than I remember it being, but that's because I played it on PC on Steam. I know that version is a little wonky compared to like the console versions, right? We played Mario and Luigi's Brothership, which I will talk about soon, and some other things that I'm forgetting about. I'm playing through Cyberpunk right now, but I don't know. This is my second playthrough of this game, and I'm just not feeling it, man. I really just don't know what it is about this game. I can't really get into it, man. I've got around like 28 hours total. I did one playthrough. I was a nomad. This time I'm a street kid. I don't know, man. I just think it's a little redundant, a little boring. Doesn't really do that much for the genre as a whole. But yeah, that'll be an episode for another day. But anyways, yeah, let's just get into it, man. Mario and Luigi Brothership. So why did I choose this? Why did I play this? Why did I buy this? I'm a huge fan of the original Superstar Saga. The Superstar Saga was the Game Boy Advance version, which I did play a couple years ago, but it was before I started the podcast. So I do want to revisit that eventually as well. I really, really love that game. So I'm familiar with the series, I'm familiar with the Mario and Luigi series. I haven't played too much of these games. I actually don't know how many there is total. I know I've played the Superstar Saga. I've played Partners in Time. I've played Brothership. I know there's a RPG, like the one that got remastered for Switch. I know there's Bowser's Inside Story or something like that, and I think there might be a couple more. But yeah, this is the third one I've played. I don't really remember Partners in Time all that much. Superstar Saga, a little more fresh in my memory. Loved that game. But yeah, Brothership, it just wasn't it, man. I think this game, for starters, it doesn't do that much different from the other games. There's more ways to traverse. Like there's like a ball you can go into with Luigi. There's the UFO mode where you have to use to cross gaps. There's the fire and ice you can turn into to clear certain big obstacles, or the fire and ice balls you can throw. Outside of that, combat is largely the same. You control Mario with A, you control Luigi with B. You have the separate moves. You have the jump move. You have the hammer move. You have the bros moves in this game, which are pretty fun. I actually do like the combat a lot in this game, but it starts off so slow, man. Like the game starts off with about 10 million tutorials. And one of the things I really hate about this game is it shows you the prompt to skip dialogue with B, or at least fast forward through it, but it really just doesn't feel all that good to do. Like you hold B and it just doesn't go all that much faster. It still feels super, super slow. The game makes you go through all of this. It makes you go through all of Luigi's like little learning segments where he learns a new thing to do. And it's just like this unskippable cutscene of him like, having the exclamation mark above his head. But yeah, just, I don't know, man. I really just could not get into this game all that much. I was actually ready to quit it, but I don't know. I have this weird thing with games where I just don't like to quit it before the end. I want to just get all the way through it. Then that'll be my final thoughts. But I was like ready to give up on this game multiple, multiple times. The story is honestly what kept me going through it the most. So, basically the story is Concordia, the place you're trying to connect. You're trying to reconnect all the islands. It's all separated, right? So you have to take the Brothership around. You have to regather the the little island pieces themselves, and then you connect them to the, what's it called, the big tree. I can't remember what the big tree is called. It's been like a month since I played this, guys, because I wasn't feeling like doing the podcast, because I was sick for a while and my voice was hurting and all that fun bullshit, right? So yeah, we're back. And we're gonna try to get through this, man. I really don't know. This probably won't be fun to listen to, but yeah. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Okay. 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 So don't be a fag about it, please. Where was I? Anyways, yeah, you connect all the islands, but that's basically it. You're connecting all the islands, and then you're fighting the baddies along the way. The three little stooge guys are called the Extension Corps, which is kind of a fun name. Oh, and they're all like outlets. All the people are like outlets. It's the whole thing is like based on electricity themed. So all of like the little inhabitants of the islands are like sockets and they're plugs, and they're called Wattanists. The main person, right? What's her name? This like little cute outlet girl. She's like a Wattanist, right? And they control the power or they're responsible for like the mother tree and like the power of the nation or whatever. But yeah, the story, basically the main guy, Zocket, is he ends up being one of the Wattanists that turns evil, basically. He turns into Recluse, the big bad guy at the end. But yeah, there's this stuff called glom in the game, and basically he wants to isolate everybody with this glom substance and turn them lonely, right? He thinks isolation and loneliness is like the key to his perfect world, right? Something along those lines, which is really interesting because I really feel like it kind of coincides with like what's going on today, with the whole like COVID thing, and right, because like we had the whole isolation period, the whole pandemic period. Just I don't know, man. It really spoke to me on that level because that was such a weird time in our human history. And don't you guys feel like video games are kind of like angels trying to speak out to you? This is gonna sound fucking batshit crazy, by the way, but they're kind of like angels trying to tell you a story in a weird way of like trying to like nudge you in the right direction of what's going on in the world. Maybe that's a little too deep. I'm reading into it a little too much, but I feel like it's a lot. It's like that with movies and stuff in Hollywood too, right? And I feel like it's recently gotten taken over by the evil side, Hollywood and games. That's why like DEI exists and movies are shit now, and they try to push a certain message and whatever, push a certain narrative, push a certain agenda. I really feel like games are people, like the developers are angels or demons, or devils trying to, kind of wake us up in a way, or kind of get us to see what's going on in the perspective or through the game rather. So that's why it spoke to me. That's how it spoke to me. I don't know, man. That's what I really liked about this game. I think the story hard carried it just because I saw so much of what's going on in the world today in this game. And the fact that this game came out in what was it, 2024? Let me look it up actually. I forgot to do that. When did Mario and Luigi Brothership come out? My spelling is terrible. It came out November 7th, 2024. So yeah, this was like 4 years after the COVID pandemic. So I feel like they probably looked at that and they were like, okay, we could kind of make something like this and kind of disguise it as, just a silly Mario and Luigi game. So yeah, it really spoke to me, man. I don't know, man. If anybody hears this, let me know what you guys think about the story in the comments below. I really just feel like it was kind of a nudge to kind of try to get people that look into it deeply a little sense of like, oh, maybe this is what they're talking about. Yeah, so I really really enjoyed the story. And then you obviously beat Recluse at the end. The boss fight was actually very very fun. Kind of hard actually. I died a couple times. As far as dying in this game, it's really quite impossible to die throughout the whole story. This game gives you so many fucking items, so many mushrooms, so many one-ups, so many what are they called? The honey pots, the nuts, to get your bro points up, get your stamina up, or not stamina, but your HP and whatnot. The game just gives you so many coins to buy stuff. It gives you so many items if you look out for them. So yeah, I'm not really expecting a game like this to be all that hard. Final boss kind of gave me a run for my money. Um, I feel like Superstar Saga was probably a little harder at some points, especially the final boss. I remember the final boss of Saga being very, very difficult. Um, but this one, it took me a couple tries. It wasn't too bad in the end, though. But this game absolutely overstayed its welcome. I think it was way too long. Uh, it probably would have been a better if you could skip most, like some of the dialogue and or actually, go through it faster. But I think all in all, I put 40 hours into this game, which is like way, way, way more than I wish I did, or way more than I wish that it lasted. I know I've said before the perfect game time for a game is like maybe like 10 to 20 hours somewhere, depending on how much I'm enjoying myself. Um, but yeah, 40 hours, definitely way too long. Definitely way too much dialogue. Definitely way too much unskippable stuff in the game you had to go through. Um, Story hard carried it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say. Just go play the game for yourself. I personally would recommend Partners in Time or Super Staga over this. Yeah, like I said, not too long of an episode. I just wanted to yap a little bit, get back into the swing of things here. If I remember stuff to talk about, I'm just going to throw it in. This is going to be the most unorganized piece of shit I've ever done. But that's kind of what I want the podcast to be now, tastes change as we evolve as humans, as we age. We don't like the same stuff necessarily that we did once a while ago. So yeah, I want it to be a little more unstructured. I don't want it to be completely off the rails and like weird and just jumping all over the place. But yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. Another thing I forgot to talk about is the main ship you come back to always, the Brothership, the one with the big mother tree on it. I know it's not called that, but I can't remember what it's called. You sail the seas. You get to choose like the certain paths that open up, the certain currents that open up, and then the ship goes around. You find different islands. That's basically the whole game. Another thing I really didn't like about this game is how often you have to go back to the islands you already beat and the islands you already linked up. Just because you link them up, you do something in the story, and then they're like, oh, the Watanist person, Connie, that's her name, Connie, the Watanist person, she goes back to the island you already did, and then you have to go back and talk to her, and then she has like a little monologue she does, and then you have to go retrieve her, and then you go back to the Brothership, and then you save the game, and then you go to the cannon, and then you launch to a new island. So as far as just repetitive. I still have the stutter. That never went away. As far as repetitiveness goes, yeah, super super repetitive, man. Like I know Superstar Saga, like you actually there's like like very very limited backtracking as far as I remember in that game, and that's what I like, man. Like let me progress forward. Don't make me go backwards. That's one thing I cannot stand about this game. just way too long. And like it's way too long and there's too much backtracking. Like you got to choose one or the other, man. So, yeah, the biggest problem with this game is by far the pacing. Starts off way, way, way too slow, doesn't pick up that much. And by the end, you're just like, you're dreading this game. You're wanting it to be over. I'd like to hear some opinions. I doubt this video will reach anyone because I feel like this channel probably isn't going to go well in the algorithm, but one can dream, right? One can hope. But yeah, I just want to, get my thoughts on there, get my thoughts out there about Luigi and Brothership. Will I go back to this game? Most likely not. I'll probably never touch this game again. So it will sit on my shelves and just gather dust till the end of time, which is what it will do because I buy physical games, because physical games are a dying medium, man. It's pretty sad to see everything's going to go digital. Probably get subscription based gaming eventually, with the way Game Pass is going and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, guys, that's really all I'm gonna have on Mario and Luigi's Brothership here. So that's pretty much it, man. Let's get into the other. Let's get into the other bullshit. What do I normally do here? What have I been playing? I kind of covered it already. Right now, currently, I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077. Got to be honest, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I really am just not having that much fun with it. I think it's really sleeper, man. It's just like really sleeper, man. I think the skill trees are super boring. I don't think the combat is all that interesting. Uh, the weapon customization, like the augments and all that stuff, it's kind of confusing still to this day for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm too stupid to figure it out. I just don't. I think the skill trees are so boring, man. Like everything is just more critical damage for this type of gun. So yeah, not really into Cyberpunk. Probably will give up on it, and I'll probably never touch that again. I played Fallout 3 all the way through and all the DLC all the way through, so we will be talking about that eventually. Probably after this episode, even though it's funny. I think I finished Fallout 3 before Brothership, but I wanted to get this one out there first just because I didn't like it all that much, man. And I'll probably have some more praise about Fallout 3 than I will have about this game. And then also Overwatch. Been playing a shit ton of Overwatch. It's been fun playing Stadium, playing competitive 6v6 open queue. It's now season 1. They dropped the Overwatch 2 and they went back to season 1. So it's just now Overwatch season 1. They dropped 5 new heroes: Domina, Anran, Mizuki, Jetpack Cat, and Emre. I really like all of them so far. I think Anran is a little bad. Domina's pretty good. Emre's really fun. I really love Emre. Jetpack Cat is fun. Mizuki's pretty fun too. So we're having a good time on Overwatch. And then also Deadlock, man. I've been playing a lot of Deadlock too. I love Billy in that game. Billy the Goat. He's really fun to play. I love his voice lines. So yeah, I've been playing that as well. Movement is pretty difficult to get used to. Just the game in general is really difficult to get used to. I really like it though. Really, really like it. Awaiting the full game to come out at some point. Although they haven't announced a beta or anything yet. And then also Predecessor, man. I've really got into Predecessor. I haven't played it that much in the past couple weeks though. But I've really been liking that game because it's like a lower octane MOBA. I've been looking for a MOBA to play besides like here's my problem with MOBAs, right? Pokemon Unite is way too like bare bones, babies first RPG or not RPG, babies first MOBA, right? Deadlock, it's hardcore. It's like movement is everything in that game, so it's kind of like overwhelming at some points. League of Legends is like the point and click. I tried to play League of Legends with the WASD, which was fun. I actually really liked it, but it wasn't in the full game. It was only in certain game modes, which kind of sucked, so I didn't really continue playing that. So then I found Predecessor again. I did play Predecessor a while ago, kind of when it first launched, and then I never touched it again. Recently got back into it, and I really like it because it's like a very nice blend of what I want in a MOBA. There's a little depth to it, not a crazy amount of depth like Dota or anything like that. It has fun shooting mechanics. I really like ADC in that game. I like the mid lane in that game. So there's a little bit of skill expression with landing your skills and your landing your shots. Traditional MOBA style too, so it's like towers, inhibitors, minions, Baron, Orb Prime, or whatever it's called, empowered minions. Then there's the Fang Tooth, which gives you the damage or the separate buffs, and then like the Primal Fang Tooth gives you the what's it called, the damage over time effect, which is cool. But yeah, I've been really liking Predecessor because it's like the perfect blend of not too intricate, but intricate enough for me, anyways. And then as far as that games I've been playing, I think that's it, right? Let me have a look at my Steam and just see what I've been playing here. I have been playing zombies too. I've been playing Call of Duty Zombies here and there. Not too much of that though. Just a couple games here and there. I did watch Tyler One play through all of Resident Evil 9, which I'm fine with. I do want to play it eventually. The game was actually fucking sick. I really like that. I'll definitely play through that on my own because I'll forget all about it eventually, and that'll be a fun playthrough eventually. Because I do want to play through. I got to play through Resident Evil 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 eventually. So I'm looking forward to that as well. That will pretty much do it for the podcast then, man. So yeah, this is gonna quick rambly episode, quick rambling. Just feel like yapping about games. I just haven't felt like playing games. I felt like yapping about them more. So that's what we're doing. Sorry if I still sound sick. Sorry if the mic isn't all that up to par. I'm kind of just getting back into the swing of things here. I haven't really been talking using this mic either, so I don't know how it's gonna sound. Not the best at setting up audio either. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'll see if I try to remember all my Rumble password and everything too. Because I do want to upload this episode to Spotify as well as Rumble and YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, that's going to be it for the Mario and Luigi Brothership episode. I know it was kind of a weird episode. Didn't get all that much into it, but to be honest, guys, is there really that much to talk about with these games? I feel like I don't think so. The characters weren't that memorable. Like I said before, the mechanics of the fighting is fun. I like the bros moves. I like the actual fights. The pacing of the game, just not it. Outside of that, great story. Way too long of a game. Anyways, that's going to be it, guys. I've been Jerry Yap, and you've been listening to episode 43. So that's going to do it. Thanks again. Thanks for listening. Future Jerry, if you're listening, let me know in the comments down below how this video turned out or how this episode turned out. Probably shit, but we'll see. Anyways, see you later. Gay boy, faggot, retard. Peace.